guys, Ken here, your thrifty apprentice, and welcome back to our Thursday Ephemera series. This is the second video that I've done in this Ephemera series. We did not have one come out last week, and I did tell you guys that they may not come out every week on Thursdays because it is an additional day to the normal 3 days a week that I do release on YouTube. But I am definitely trying to work it in at least 2 Thursdays a month. Hopefully in the near future, it'll pick up more frequently than that. In today's ephemera video, guys, we are going to be making these really quick, easy, simple journal companion notebooks. And they can be constructed to go along with your art journals or your junk journals. It's completely your choice. As I tell you guys all the time, it's solely based on the type of papers that you bind it with. Other than that, ephemera is ephemera. So here we have ephemera that are made from some of the watercolor pencil paintings that are on the channel. If you're interested, the focal image for all 3 of these was done in a watercolor pencil demo. A lot of the artwork that I do on my channel, as far as my colored pencils, watercolor pencils, paints, alcohol markers, and just whatever artwork I do, I tend to try to work it into creating ephemera for the journals that I list and sell. Which, shameless plug, guys, my Etsy shop is now open and there are links in all video descriptions if you would like to go check out anything in that shop. It is where I post any paintings that I have available or any of the journals or ephemera that is available for purchase as well. Without further ado, we are going to be making this today. Here we have a file folder that has been cut down to about 4.5 by 7.5 in order to create this cute little flip book, as you can see, just so you'll see what we're creating in case you're interested. This one has been bound with a signature using staples, and we're going to go through the complete construction of this mini journal. It's going to show you all of the beauties. Now, it's really simple and straightforward. There's not a lot of tucks and folds and tricks to it, but it is a great journal companion and a great something to just carry around and do some quick note-taking, grocery list, things of that nature. Now here you'll see I have attached an additional journaling card here on the inside, and that will be included on the inside of all of them. Now we're going to go through the construction of this one, and afterwards we'll come back and we'll take a closer look at all 3. To start, I took a file folder and cut it down to 4.5 by 7.5. Now this is the only measurement that will matter throughout this video. You can make these whatever size you choose to. First thing I want to do is cover the inside of the file folder so that I cover the black writing. I have already pre-chosen my pattern papers from a DigiKit that I purchased off of Etsy to help save time. I'm going to use this pattern paper in order to cover the inside of the file folder. Using my Elmer's Craft Bond extra strength glue stick, I'm going to adhere the pattern paper to the middle of the file folder where I will have excess hanging off, and I will actually have to use my scissors to trim. You just kind of want to gauge what part of that paper you actually want on the inside of your project. Now with the pattern paper adhered to the file folder, I'll flip it over and I'll take a pair of scissors and cut it out, or you can use your ruler and your craft knife. With our pattern paper adhered to the inside, we're going to go ahead and refold and then use our bone folder in order to crease the project down and just make sure that it's going to lay flat. Now that we have the inside covered, we're going to go ahead and cover the front, adding a backing panel with this piece of pattern paper that was cut from the printed from the same DigiKit. Again, I'll use my Elmer's Craft Bond extra strength glue stick in order to adhere the pattern paper to the front of the project. Now here, just like before, we'll flip the project over and use our scissors to cut out the project. With that cut out, we can move on to putting our focal image on our project. Now here you can use whatever you want. I'm using a printout on vellum sticker paper of the whimsical Cityscape watercolor pencil painting that I did, and it is up on the channel if you guys want to go back and check this painting out. A lot of my artwork I will actually turn into printables or stickables with sticker paper in order to create ephemera with. I love to encourage, especially during our Thursday Ephemera series, that if you are an artist, use your artwork in your projects. It's going to help it make it more personable, and it's a great way to get your artwork out in your journals and into the world if you're someone who happens to sell your products. With that being said, I'm going to cut out the watercolor pencil panel of the whimsical Cityscape silhouette, and I'm going to adhere that to the front of the project, centering it in the middle, and we will be halfway done at that point. So we did cut out our focal image and adhere it to the front of our project. I just removed the back of the sticker paper, and I did hit it with a little bit of that Elmer's Craft Bond extra strength glue stick in order for it to have some extra contact adhering to the paper. Now all we have to do at this point is ink our edges, and we'll be able to move on to binding our little book. So here we are. I have inked the edges of my project, and as you can see, we have a very cute little folio here. So now it's time to bind. Now in this step, you can use whatever binding method and whatever type papers you wish to in order to do your project. Now for this project, I'm actually going to be using the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, where I will be binding in a signature constructed of this watercolor dyed sketch paper, which is going to be great for journaling, writing, drawing, graphite, watercolor pencils, colored pencils, maybe light watercolor, but definitely the dry medium. And I'm going to be taking, I have 5 sheets here. I'll be folding those in half in order to create my signature. Now that my signature is folded and fit inside one another in order to create my 20 pages, I'm now going to measure it to fit the inside of my mini notebook here. And then I've changed my mind. I will not be using the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but instead I will be using the staple binding method. That way you will be able to see the easiest binding method I feel for these, and it'll be uniform with the other ones I made that are like it. So I'm just going to measure about 1/8 of an inch from the edge, and then 1/8 of an inch from the edge on the bottom in order to create the size of my signature. Now that we have cut down our signature to fit the inside of our project, I'm going to go ahead with binding. Now I told you guys I would be using staple binding, and I just wanted to show you this for a minute. There are different types of staple machines that you can use and different type of to bind. Now, if you have one of the long staple machines with a long arm, it makes it really easy for you to get into your project and staple. But if you don't have that, you can always use a regular staple machine. This is just a regular size staple machine, or you can even use a mini size and a mouse pad in order to do your binding. Since most people don't have the long staple machine, I'm going to do this binding with the mouse pad and the short one. So you simply want to open the staple machine up, as most of them will do. Now on the mouse pad, I have my project open up with my signature face down, the cover on top, and all of the folds aligned on each other. Now I don't always do this perfectly, but I try. Now you can either put the closure of your staples to the inside or the outside. I'm going to put my closures to the inside, so I'm going to staple from the outside. And I'm just going to see if I can gauge the middle here, and I'll do 3 staples, 1 in the middle, 1 at the top, and 1 below. After you get your staples through on the opposite side, I was off just a little bit on the first one, and this binding method is a little sometime, so it can happen. You'll flip it over and you'll simply close down your tabs on the inside, or the staples on the inside, with a bone folder or scissors or what have you. Now that we have our journal bound, I will finish it up by adding a little additional journaling, drawing, writing space, whatever you need it for. Here I have a butterfly that was cut off from one of those brochures that you pick up in like the hotels that advertise the things that are going on around the city. I just cut that butterfly out of that brochure, backed it with some watercolor dyed and splattered college rule paper, stitched around it, and there I had a really simple journaling tag. And I'm just going to use that to add a little bit more journaling room right on the inside of our journal. I have a little blue paper clip here that I'm going to use to just adhere that right there. And that's where that'll live, just like that. And there you have it, guys. A really quick and easy instant journal companion that you can bind with any type of papers. Make it great for your art journal, your junk journals, and you can pull it out. It's something great to travel with. It's a great gift idea, great stocking stuffer around Christmas time, and it's really easy to do. There you have it, guys. All right, guys, and we have wrapped up the construction. Hopefully that was fun for you guys and you enjoyed it. Now we're going to have just a really quick flip through of the little pads that I have here. If you were just staying for the construction, thank you guys so very much. I really appreciate your support. Don't forget to like, and hopefully I'll see you in the next ephemera video. For those who would like to take a closer look, of course, you remember the one that we created in the video today, which was bound with the watercolor dyed papers. Now, as I explained, this is great for journaling or sketching, colored pencils, watercolor pencils, maybe even light watercolor, but that is it's a pretty lightweight sketch paper. And it does have the additional journaling card that is included on the inside, which again is that watercolor dyed splattered college rule paper. I love making these. This was so easy and quick. Seriously, you cut out an image, you back it with some journaling paper, and then you sew around it. You can use that with pretty much any image, magazine, photos, what have you. Okay, so that one was bound for that. Now, the two that I made before I started the video, if you want to take a look at the first one, and I have many more of these focal images printed out. I just only made 3 of them up. I'm probably going to make up many more. Now on this one, we use some of the same pattern paper to back it, both on the outside and the inside, that came from that digi kit that I used to construct the one in the video. Here we use the same focal image, which is the nighttime cityscape silhouette from that painting video. Done with the beautiful blues, the moon in the background. That was put down for the focal image. Now the inside of this one was bound memo style. So basically I took coffee dyed college rule paper and I cut it down to fit the inside of the project. Afterwards, I folded over coffee dyed cardstock on the top and used staples to bind that, just like the regular memo pads you would see sitting in your offices or maybe in your schools, right? Then I just put a little Fabrifix down on the back of that strip and I adhered it in with that Fabrifix to the project. That way we would not actually have staples coming through the back. Although the object of this would be to be either glued down as like the front of the back cover, or stuck into a pocket. Now mind you, you can also use the back for journaling. Keep that in mind. Now this one does have a little tag edition. It does not have any sewing, but it's just this was a thank you note card, you know, had beautiful butterfly imagery on it. I just cut it down into tag shape, took me a ruler and a fine line marker and drew on lines for journaling space, and then inked the edges. And there you had this really quick instant tag that made really cute additional journaling space inside the little notebook. So guys, see, just really quick, simple, easy ideas in order to have things to journal, write, draw, and paint on. And lastly, I did create this one using the daytime focal image from that Cityscape silhouette painting. I loved the beautiful colors that was in there. Same pattern paper from the Digi Kit is backing, as well as backing the inside. That was a Digi Kit that I purchased from Pam over at the Paper Outpost, if I'm not mistaken. Now, this one was bound with mixed media paper. I still use the memo style binding with the cardstock and the staples. The fabric fits to adhere it into the project without showing the staples through the back, so that you would have journaling space on the back as well. But this is mixed media paper, so unlike the other two, this one will hold wet paint. So you can use your watercolors, your gouache, your water-soluble pastels. This paper will even take acrylic as well. And I also did an additional journaling card for this one. This is that same thank you notepad that was used to make the tag here. I just didn't cut it into a tag, just left it a journaling card, inked the edges, did the same lines on the back, and then we're just clipping that in with a yellow clip to match the focal image on the front of this one. And that's how simple this project was, guys. Really easy, really straightforward, really simple to achieve and pull off. Hopefully you saw some tips, tricks, techniques that you like, that you love. If you did, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Go ahead and share the video. Remember that sharing is caring, and that there may be someone else out there who would love to see or know this information. Check us out on all the social media sites, and you can also feel free to join the ever-growing Thrifty Apprentice sponsored Facebook group, Paints, Pencils, Pastels, and Markers, where we do all things artsy and crafty with respect for each other while we're doing it. It has been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying these ephemera videos. I'm really enjoying getting to share these different ideas where we're mixing the art journaling and the junk journaling together to create all these different things. And hopefully you guys are picking up on some things that are giving you inspiration so that you can do these things in the comfort of your own home. Guys, I will throw out again, don't forget, whenever you feel like it, from now or whenever, you can check out the link for the Etsy shop. Things are uploaded in that Etsy shop as I finish them, so there may not be a lot of inventory at any given time, but there is going to always be something being constantly uploaded. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me here in the studio. And remember, as I tell you guys at the end of every single video, just keep painting and crafting.